think we have a very special meeting tonight. Very rewarding meeting, very good time in Weiser right now for tonight's meeting. This time, could we have the roll call?
Councilmember Hahn.
Here?
Hoag.
Here.
Blackwell.
Here.
Chipman.
Here.
Von Redhorst. Here.
Okay, can we all stand, and at this time, Ian Ross will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and Ron McDaniel will then lead us in the, excuse me, I'll go the other way. Ian Ross will lead us in the invocation, and Ron McDaniel will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray. Almighty God, we thank you for the city that we have the privilege to be a part of. We ask your blessing upon it. Lord, we thank you for our first responders. We thank you for their service. We ask for you to watch over them, give them your protection and safety as they conduct their business. Lord, we thank you for our city council and thank you for their service. Ask that you would give them wisdom in all the decisions that they make. I ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, at this time, do we have any commission reports?
Yes, always. Our design review committee has met and they're continuing to work their progress on sign committee, or sign regulations and so forth, as well as some additional lighting rules and signage. So signage is the big thing that we're looking at right now. So the committee's hard at work on that. And then our economic development committee still does not meet at the moment, but that's okay. They continue to find wonderful things that Main Street is doing across the community. And those are the big ones for me.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I have a couple of reports. The library is sponsoring a high tea tomorrow at 4:30. And if you'd like to go, all you have to do is call up and make a reservation. PBS will be there showing all things great and small. And I'm going out with a bang with my big report for the Architectural Preservation Commission, so take a deep seat. Okay. Our city historic preservation ordinance establishing a 5-member commission was adopted more than 40 years ago based on a model provided by the State Historic Preservation Office. While this has worked adequately for the city, many, if not most, other commissions around the state have 7 or more members. After considering the pros and cons of expanding our commission, a unanimous decision was reached at our meeting last week to petition the city to amend our ordinance to provide for a 7-member commission. The commission chairman has already discussed this briefly with the clerk, and with council approval, we'll get the process to make it happen underway. The commission voted to apply for a certified local government CLG grant to hire a consultant to do a survey of properties in our downtown commercial district to determine potential for a historic district. The grant application deadline is January 31st. If approved, the work would probably not get underway until later this year. Most of it will be done behind the scenes, including taking photos of building exteriors and researching and documenting their history. There will be plenty of public notice and information about the project before things get underway. Access to buildings will likely be unnecessary except in rare circumstances and only with advance permission from owners, and there will be no impact to affected properties. Pretty much all the work will be researching public documents at the museum, assessor's office, and period newspapers. The project will take more than a year to complete, and it will just be wonderful to have the history all together in this document. The recent social media story about the National Register application on the middle school gymnasium erroneously stated that the grant covering those costs was initiated by the school district. As reported previously to the council, it was the City Historic Preservation Commission who obtained permission and support from the school district before applying for this grant through the Certified Local Government Program. The consultant has recently reported that her work should be completed by this spring, at which time it will be submitted to the State Historic Preservation Office to review and determine if the application meets the required standards. We're confident it will sail through with flying colors in time to be submitted to the State National Register Review Board at their fall meeting. It was, if approved, it will be forwarded on to DC for final review and approval, which will be expected announcement will be in 2027. That's my report.
Thank you. Do we have any committee reports?
Mayor, just one note from Sarita. The big news there is that we have a new executive director. His name is Jeff Carpenter. You may know him as Dale Jeffries. I mean, he started January 5th, so I'm sure he's anxious to come and meet with us as well as the other city and county entities. So we'll get him here as quick as we can, but we're excited to have him.
It's his radio name, in case you're wondering.
Yes.
His radio personality.
There's a lot of announcing.
One name when he goes to jail. The other
I was like, he's not on the run.
We'll strike that from the record, please.
Thank you, Larry. Any other committee reports at this time? If not, Natasha, are you ready to give us our department report?
Why, sure. Department reports for December 2025. The City of Weiser personnel, full-time, has 49 employees, 5 part-time. The Weiser Police Department had 26 adult arrests, 21 of them being misdemeanor, 5 felony. The juveniles were behaving last month. There were 50 citations with 18 being misdemeanor and 32 infractions. There were 404 calls for service with 130 case reports, 5 felony, 21 misdemeanor, 9 accident, and 4 incident. The City of Weiser Animal Control had 21 dog complaints, 6 were impounded, 7 were returned to owner, 4 were transferred out. They had 2 cat complaints, 2 impounded, 1 adopted, 6 transferred out. They had 1 livestock complaint, and they did issue 1 citation. The City of Weiser ordinance complaints, they had 1 junk and debris, 6 abandoned vehicles, 9 parking, camper occupancy 1, and bin inspections 1. The wastewater department December flow for 2024 was $31,290,000. The December flow for 2025 was $29,800,000. The December daily average was $960,000. The wastewater department took down both clarifiers for maintenance and cleaning. They cleaned the contact chambers. They worked on a leaking sewer at commercial and state. They did finish the project and filed the appropriate paperwork with the state. The water department's water production for December 2024 was $13,457,000. December of 2025 was $13,362,000. The water production was down 55 million gallons from last year. Completed projects for 2025. The water department did bore a 10-inch water main under railroad tracks on West 9th. They extended a 10-inch water main and new fire hydrant on East Commercial. They replaced 132 water meters in the system. They also installed 26 new meters in the system. The electric department's power consumption for November of 2024 was 4,765,684 kilowatts. November of 2025 was 4,567,101 kilowatts. The electric department repaired and restored power to the 15 feeder after a homeowner fell a tree limb into the line at dusk. They inspected an electrical system at Gateway RV Park with Ace Electric to check for safety and code violations. They changed out a 2500 kVA transformer at Fry Foods, trying to isolate some voltage issues. The crew worked with Idaho Power to install a new pole and repair broken cross arms on a shared pole. They also installed the new Welcome to Weiser sign, the southeast corner of the Maverick parking lot. The street department finished up with leaf pickup. They decorated downtown with lights, blow-ups, and wreaths. They worked various jobs in the shop, including installing a new clutch for the leaf machine, and they did patch potholes as needed around town. The recreation department, League 1 of youth basketball is finished. There was a great turnout for both boys and girls. League 2 starts on the 17th of January. Women's volleyball will be starting with games on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They currently are taking applications for co-ed volleyball, and indoor soccer will start mid-January. The building department issued 3 building permits, with all 3 of those being single-family dwellings. Dave did 10 inspections and 6 consults. Mayor and City Council, that concludes your department reports for December 2025.
In our packet, we've had 2 sets of minutes for December, our regular December 8th meeting, and then our special December 22nd meeting. Council, have you had a chance to review those minutes?
Yes.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve the minutes of our regular meeting on December 8th and special meeting on December 22nd as written.
There should be one notation change though, however, I was not here at that meeting, and it says that I eyed our adjournment, which I would have, but I wasn't here, so we just need to make
With that
one
amendment.
correction, because I was not here.
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
Otherwise, I would second as amended.
okay, we have a motion and a second with an amendment that we approve the 2 December meetings, the minutes from the 2 meetings. And that is an action item. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Blackwell,
Yes.
Councilmember Han,
Yes.
Chipman,
Yes.
Von Redhorst,
Yes.
Poe.
Yes.
Okay. Motion carries. Thank you. At this time, also, as our finance committee had a chance to review our bills, paid and unpaid bills.
Yes, the finance committee has met and we would like to present the bills for payment as presented and have the mayor sign the warrants.
Second.
Something
Okay.
like that.
Motion and second to accept the bills as presented. Can we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Chipman,
Yes.
Han,
Yes.
Von Redhorst,
Yes,
Poe,
Yes.
Blackwell.
Yes.
Okay, motion also carries. Okay, at this time, we have some unfinished business before we can move on to our outgoing council and incoming new council. We had a proposed solar study that we put off to this month, last month, and it's under unfinished business, so we need to address that before we move on. And I think Mike is looking at putting together a rate study possibly next month to take a look at our commercial and residential rates and where they're at and possibly where we need to be going with them. Is that?
So what we did was I am working with engineering to put together a scope and budget for a rate study that would separate it from the solar study and show the difference in the two. So if we can wait for that and move on this, or we can just include it and go forward with the solar study. That's kind of up to you, but I did have them start on a scope and budget for a standard rate study.
So doing them separately doesn't impact cost then?
Not particularly, no. It would just pull out the current rates that we have. Right now, the solar study shows rates with and without, so we did it both ways inside there. We just pull that one out and show a difference in cost
Okay.
of what it is.
And that could be just an option
It
other
could
than
be.
to the solar study if we
Right,
want to
if
move
we-
that way.
So it's kind of, the way I was kind of understanding is maybe looking at just the rates and see what that costs to do versus doing it with the solar study to get the feasibility study.
So, yeah, the original solar feasibility study had the rate study included. So this is kind of saying, let's put together what the scope of work would be for the rate study and maybe set the solar feasibility study aside or bring it back up at a later date, or to really focus on the rate study instead of it all together.
Altogether. in one.
So
Okay.
it's the solar study's still on the table. It's just that it seems to me it makes sense to go ahead and do the rate study, and then let's see where we're at on that, and then we can continue if that's what we decide at that time to either continue or not continue with the solar study.
Yes, it's whatever the council decides they want to do.
I wasn't here last month, so I don't know what concerns you guys brought up. I read the minutes, but they weren't detailed verbatim, but I thought I had read that there were alternatives that we were going to look at as well. That Mike was going to potentially look at alternatives.
So I think it was brought up, and the reason it was tabled is because there was concern from the council, and Mike asked that those concerns be brought to him, emailed to him, or at least brought into him, and he was gonna have the engineers here to explain any questions, comments, or concerns.
I didn't get any, so.
But there was nothing was brought to Mike, so we can continue tabling the solar, or we can table it and have him emailed to Mike, like you said at the last meeting. But there's also the opportunity to just move forward with bringing a rate study to council next month, and kind of doing that in lieu of doing the whole feasibility
Sure.
study.
Yeah, we have options, either continue with the solar study or not, or table it.
I see the value in wanting to expand and create that safety buffer for solar power. I think I just have a hard time swallowing the price. I know,
Feasibility study?
yeah, I know it's only gonna get more expensive because that's all that anything ever does is get more expensive, it seems. However, I know Keller does good work. We've worked with them many, many times. I just have a really hard time stomaching the cost
So
to our taxpayers.
So the only caveat with going to a different engineer is we would have to turn this one completely down. And then we'd have to build a scope of work and bid it, and you have to take the lowest bid or reject them all. You can't ask for price from another engineer. Like, I can't call another engineer and just ask for price on this, that's.
So when we originally got this, did we reach out to Keller specifically saying we want this?
Because
Can you
they-
create one for us?
They are our city engineer, yeah. They're our
Okay,
contracted
because that's our
engineer.
contracted
So if
engineer.
we have, we could put together a roster and go to them, but you can't do it by price. So you would have to bring it to the council with price, and then would reject it, and then go back out for another one. You can't do a price comparison.
Sure.
It's law.
Okay.
That's the law. I don't think people realize your engineer's your engineer, and you can't go to other engineers for pricing only. You have to do it by
Sure.
qualification, not by price.
Sure, absolutely. No, and I understand that. I think, I'm just expressing my opinion since I didn't get to last month.
No,
That
absolutely. It is very expensive.
$130,000 feels,
So rate study
Like my
though,
house.
just for instance, the rate study part of it is probably gonna be in the 40,000 to 50,000 by itself. So this included a rate study without the solar study, so what we're looking at doing on
Yeah.
its own, with the solar study and the feasibility brought into that also. So there will be there's a lot of legwork going to that feasibility study. So I know it is a lot of money, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of money. But there's also a lot of time and personnel hours involved into that.
so my follow-up question then.
Sure.
What is the financial advantage of doing them together? Are there things that if we decide we do our solar, or we do our rate study, later on, are we gonna have to pay for something again because we decided to do the solar study later?
And that's where we're doing it's just a scope and budget for a rate study, so they'll bring that up, pulling it out of there, and we'll know a lot more when we have that in hand, right? I don't have the cost without getting a scope and budget.
So it's $40,000 to do a scope and study
Theoretically,
for.
no, theoretically, a scope and budget is what they give us to tell us how much it's gonna cost
Okay,
and what they're
okay.
gonna do.
Good, because I was about to change my career again.
So we have to take the scope and, we have to take the rate study scope and budget out of
Yeah.
the scope and
Okay.
budget for what we have.
Okay.
And separate them
Okay,
and see if there is gonna be a difference or what you'd like to
So Mike, if we decide to go ahead and have Keller do the rate study, does that kind of tie our hands if we decide to go ahead and do the solar study as well? Will if we say, okay, we want someone else to do the solar study, then are they gonna charge us again for what we already had Keller do?
do. No, I would imagine they would use the information that we already have. They would just incorporate it into the next study. I mean, it may affect it some, but I wouldn't imagine very much.
Because the rate study, if you were to get a complete rate study done now, it takes into account what we currently have and anything in the future. It
Projected
projects
plans.
it, it
Yeah,
projects it
okay.
into the future, so.
Which we don't have a proposed rate study on the table tonight, it's just
No.
for discussion. But
This, yeah.
Okay, so I guess my opinion would be is to go ahead and get the numbers, you know, for the rate study, and then we can make a determination, you know, especially if it's not gonna, you know, show our hand for, you know, any potential, and I also want to, you know, our city engineer has over the years, as far as I'm concerned, done a great job for us. And, you know, it's not that you know, when you hear that dollar amount, you go, holy cow, it's like Sterling said, I'm like in the wrong business, because it seems like a lot of money. But I'm sure it is a lot of work, and you know, I don't want anyone thinking that at least I'm thinking that they're, you know, that they're overcharging us. It's just, it takes some time, you know, both for us and the other members of the community to, you know, to swallow that big number, because you're paying for 150 grand and you get a stack of paper.
I mean, it's almost a
And-
bucket truck, you know, it's
Yeah.
almost another garbage truck, but if you,
Right, so.
grant a different
so
department, but it's
I-
one of those.
Yeah, I think going slow and going ahead and getting a quote for the rate study is my preference.
I would just like to say for record, the issues I have with it is I had talked to several people who said that it was unreliable.
Solar is
Solar is
unreliable, okay.
unreliable. And then Mike and I had a discussion that it would take 20 to 30 acres to pull off what we're trying to do. And I was incorrect, and the mayor was correct in stating that it would take 7 to 10 years to recoup our money. I thought it was more than like 15 years. I still just think it's a lot of money, and I think that we shouldn't just be looking at solar. I think we should be looking, if we're gonna spend that much money, I think we should be looking at all the alternatives that are out there. So,
Can I ask what alternatives?
I don't know.
I'm
I'm
just
a
curious,
maker.
because I hear alternatives. and
Treadmills.
That's a winner?
There's,
Squirrels.
I hear there's a lot of mice and rats, we can put them on wheels.
Absolutely.
So we can generate, I don't know.
Just so you know, we did look slightly into hydro and wind and a few other, just to let you know, we did poke around in that. The difference is huge on what you can and can't do, because one produces more than we use, like hydro is a producer, and then you become a power producer, and then you're talking about getting into
Lot of
government
other-
stuff,
yeah.
and there's a lot that
Right.
goes, you'd have to have a full-time crew for just the hydro, you'd have to separate a few guys out, and for just hydro, it'd be, it can be done, not that it can't be done, I'm not saying it can't be done, I'm just saying that there's a lot more that goes into it.
And I didn't email you any of my concerns because I felt I was pretty vocal about my concerns.
Yeah,
last
absolutely.
night, so.
I'm sorry, Ms.
I
And the
didn't wanna
feasibility
do that
study
one.
would answer all of the questions everybody's asking, your reliability, your maintenance cost, your return on investment.
That's what the purpose of the study
That's
is
what
for.
the purpose, what kind of land to use, what type of panels need to be for the land that's going there, there's a lot of questions that go into it, so.
I think I'm with Larry on this. I think, I know it's not an action item this month, so not to put it onto the new council, but I'm more comfortable in the idea of moving forward with the rate study, which we need to do. And then,
It is an action.
depending on that, deciding whether we want to move forward with solar power study or
So-
not.
So the motion that would need to be made is what we want to do about this actual solar study, and then with council recommendation, we can move forward with it.
Correct.
So,
I thought you were headed that way.
I will be,
Okay.
if there's no further discussion.
Yeah, is there any further discussion? Yeah, we, at this point, don't want to short anybody.
Right.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I think I thoroughly discussed it, and I do think having the rate study information in front of the council before the feasibility study would make a lot of sense, so.
I motion that we table then the solar study for a further date until after we're able to get a rate study completed.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Can we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Von Brethorst,
Yes.
Chipman,
Yes.
Blackwell,
Yes.
Hope,
Yes.
Han.
Yes. Okay, motion carries. You have to hold it to no more than about 15 or 20 minutes, but you get to give your outgoing speech.
Ladies first.
If you have one, yeah.
I certainly wouldn't want to follow Sterling, so I'm gonna go first. There's no way I could ever do that. I just, it was a short time that I was involved with the city council, but it's been a very, very wonderful time for me. And I've just been blown away with the quality of the employees of the city of Weiser and the way things operate around here. I think we're very fortunate to have such a great crew. And I'm gonna miss everybody, but it's time for me to exit stage right. Okay, stage right. So, that's it. You go.
Thank you, Margie. Same sentiments, you know, when I ran for city council the first time, I was new in town. And the second time I ran, it was more of the opportunity to prove to myself that I could do it. And I ran on three different things. I ran on the idea of education, inspiration, and service, because I think that those are vital to a healthy city. And the truth is, Weiser already is, right? I thought that that's something I could bring, but the truth is that Weiser brought it to me. We are incredibly blessed with a city staff that educates when you ask questions, that is there to inspire how we use our budget, how we balance things, how we think forward, and that we're cautious with what we try to do. And these workers truly serve our community. And so thank you so much for the opportunity to teach me those things. I really appreciate all the city staff for it. It has been an incredible 4 years. I have loved every moment I've gotten to learn something, and I hope that someday when I'm in a different stage of my life and I can not be burnt out from so many other things, that I will be able to return in some capacity to continue to work with an amazing staff and to serve this community, because Weiser is the best place to live. I just love it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I wish the best of luck to the new council members. So much for you to learn, and I'm so excited for it to be you and not me.
The outgoing council for your dedication and hard
So I know
work,
who I am.
the things that have been accomplished. You know, 2 years ago, we were handed the financing and the beginning of sidewalks and our commercial street project, and so we really can't pat ourselves on the back and say, yeah, I did that or we did that, because that was already in progress. But since then, we have started progress to finish commercial street, extend sidewalks all the way to the soccer complex, we hope someday, from Park School, and put sidewalks between 9th Street and 7th Street and around the high school out to the sports facilities. So you guys get to sit back and watch that happen, and just watch Weiser grow. And thank you definitely for your dedication and service.
Yeah, thank you.
Give the honor to swear in the oath of office for our 3 new council people, and I will come out front.
You're gonna swear in them out here?
I'll shake your hand.
Actually doing this for our mayor. He has been asked to isolate a little bit due to an upcoming surgery, and so they kind of wanted him to stay healthy, so that's why I'm doing this tonight as the council president. First, I'd like to have John Schrolik step forward.
Do you want a Bible?
Sure. Stick around over here if you don't. Okay.
Just repeat that if you need it.
First, I'm going to hand you this certificate. And we'll take a
Step
picture
up stage a bit.
afterward.
Go closer to Natasha. Go
Come
closer
this
to
way.
Natasha.
Come this way,
You
so
two-
they can get
Yeah,
closer.
yeah, they want a camera angle.
You stand over here and you stand over there.
We want to
Speak loud because the mic's a little ways away from us. So repeat after me. I, John Schrolik,
I, John Schroll,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the City Council of the City of Weiser, Idaho,
of the City Council of the City of Weiser, Idaho,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
And where do you want me to put it?
You took two of them.
I have to.
Right. Okay, and I'm gonna sign that, and we're good.
Okay.
And let's see.
And then you can go take a seat, you can choose this seat or this
Oh,
seat.
he gets a choice?
He does.
First up.
Can you choose?
Lisa, would you like to step forward?
I know, he takes it with a choice.
Okay, go ahead and place your hand on your Bible to sign. Repeat after me. I, Lisa Horson,
I, Lisa Horton,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho.
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the City Council of the City of Weiser
of the City Council of the City of Weiser
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Have a seat, right?
Okay, Stephen Finsky.
Save the best for last.
Did you want to buy my?
You bet.
Nope,
Your left hand.
Do you have one in your hand?
I was like, you
Oh,
have it.
right here.
Like, I
Off to a good start. Repeat after me. I, Stephen Finsky,
I, Stephen Fensky,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of
City Council of the City of Weiser according to the best of my ability.
City Council, the City of Weiser, to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And then, right there.
Isn't that where Sterling sat?
No, you're,
No.
Those years
you're,
with the roof?
Yeah.
One point here, because I think this is a historic event to have an old football coach and an old football referee sitting side by side.
Oh, we might need to rethink this.
I always try to butter you up.
Instead of saying no, he's gonna throw a flag at you.
Yeah, probably.
okay, at this time, the city council needs to elect a city council president to serve for the 2026 year.
I think we're doing just awesome with you doing it, so I'd like to nominate Herb again.
And I'll second that.
Move nomination ceased.
Okay.
Hear that, Trina?
Okay, we have a motion and a second, and thanks both of you for your vote of confidence. All of those in favor signify with an aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
That way nobody has to leave the meeting halfway through.
Okay. Next on our agenda is to approve the mayor's council committee appointments. And we've all received our committee appointments, and I haven't heard of anybody that is refusing to serve on their assigned committees, but
Mayor, I move to approve the mayor city council committee appointments as presented here.
I second that motion.
okay, we have a motion and a second to approve this mayor's council committee appointments. All those in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So that the motion carries. At this time, we'd like to have Chief Krahn come forward. He has a...
No, we need to do the board and commission
Oh,
appointments first.
okay, let's do that. Okay, yeah, at this time, we would like to approve the mayor's board and commission appointments.
I would move that we approve them as presented.
Okay.
Second?
A motion and a second to approve the mayor's board and commission appointments. All those in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Okay, at this time, we'd like to have Chief Krahn come forward for some very special presentations.
Acting Mayor, City Council, Chief Krahn, Weiser Police Department. I'd like to ask my officers to step forward, present themselves to my right. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the reality of the work that our officers do every day. Much of that work involves repeated exposure to trauma, excuse me, that most people will never experience. Over the course of a career, it's not uncommon for an officer to perform CPR dozens of times, all while knowing, despite the best of their efforts, the person that they're trying to save may perish. Our officers are not recognized for every life they do save, nor could they be. The awards that you see presented this evening represent a small expression of gratitude for the work that is often described as just doing their job. But behind that phrase are human beings carrying the weight of loss, responsibility, and service day after day. These moments of recognition matter, not because officers expect praise or want praise, because they acknowledge the unseen toll and the extraordinary commitment behind the badge. It's a good example that I should have 4 officers up there, but one was called away to perform his duties. So I'm going to go through 2 examples. Sergeant Delane Singleton and Officer Ryan Vanderwerf, step forward. On the evening of May 8th, 2025, Officer Ryan Vanderwerf and Sergeant Delane Singleton responded to a report of an individual in crisis on the Snake River Bridge. The individual had expressed a clear intent to end their life and was visibly distressed. While officers were attempting to de-escalate the situation and take the individual into protective custody, that individual lunged over the bridge railing, and the officers prevented him from falling. With the help and the assistance of Sergeant Mosley and Corporal Jackage of the Washington County Sheriff's Office, the individual was safely pulled back onto the bridge and taken for medical treatment and psychological evaluation. The swift and courageous and selfless actions of Officer Vanderwerf and Sergeant Singleton directly saved a human life. Their response exemplifies outstanding professionalism, composure under pressure, and a deep dedication to public service and human life. The incident represents the highest ideas of law enforcement and reflects positively on the Weiser Police Department and the law enforcement profession. You can step back. Officer Joshua Pratt was called away, but would Officer James Henry step forward? On December 7th, 2025, Officers Henry and Pratt responded to a medical emergency at a residence involving an adult female who was unresponsive and not breathing. Upon arrival, the officers immediately retrieved an AED, gained entrance to the home, and located the subject in cardiac arrest. Without hesitation, they moved her to the floor and began CPR, rotating compressions back and forth to maintain efficiency. Despite indications that resuscitation efforts may be unsuccessful, Officers Henry and Pratt continued life-saving measures until paramedics arrived. At the point where paramedics were considering discontinuation of efforts being continued, she regained a pulse and regained breathing. Through their rapid response, composure under pressure, and skilled application of CPR, Officers Henry and Pratt directly saved the life of a human and a community member. Their actions reflect the highest standards of professionalism, dedication, and service to the city of Weiser. Well done, gentlemen. Lieutenant Hall and Sergeant Cody Simpson will pin the awards on the officers, and then I'll present the certificates.
Just hit it, Cody. Staff Sergeant Singleton, congratulations. Officer Ryan Vanderwerf,
Well done. Officer James Henry. Well done, sir. Apologies if I get a little emotional. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, we would like to call Nick Edwards forward. Just, I'll read and then I'll come down. Nick has just completed training, 4 years, and is graduating from the Northwest Lineman College. And he's, in the last 4 years, he's completed 8,000 hours of training, and we just want to congratulate him and thank him for his dedicated service also to the city of Weiser. Okay, at this time on our agenda is to approve and authorize the mayor to sign a mutual assistance agreement. Would you like to explain a little bit what the mutual assistance agreement? I know that we used to have mutual aid agreements between fire departments. We no longer have a city fire department because our fire protection is now covered by the rural fire department. But I understand that this gives us the opportunity to call in the two police departments, Weiser and the county, as needed for assistance during fires or other emergency situations.
So this has been an agreement that's been in place for a very long time. I think it just needs to be updated, and it does. Again, it is not to necessarily say that the city has a fire department. It is to include the Weiser Police Department.
So, just a couple of questions. Who else is a part of the mutual assistance agreement?
I'm not sure on that. Bud just brought this in.
So that, because there's, on the form I saw, there was only a spot for our, I'm assuming it's the.
I would assume it would go before their board as well.
So is this between us and the rural fire department mutual aid, or is this like a valley-wide thing, or?
No, it has, mutual aid has been a valley-wide commitment through the fire departments. And I believe that the rural fire department is just asking us to sign on because they provide us with our fire protection. With the hope that someday that we'll all be all one fire area district.
Okay, I guess regardless of whether it's with just the rural fire or whether it's like every fire department or whatever in the area, I still think we want to be a part of that for sure. Because you never know when your turn is going to be to need the assistance.
I kind of thought that this was something that maybe their board should be signing, because we already have an agreement for them to provide services to the city.
That being said, it does say, in consideration of, may be received from the police and fire department.
So it's just saying we'll all help each other. Gotcha.
Just a mutual assistant agreement that,
Which isn't gonna change anything because our
No.
police department already responds to
Right.
all emergency situations, so. But I think legally, maybe it covers something there. but-
That's probably why it applies to us, is because it does include the police, our police department, and our agreement with the fire department doesn't. I guess I'm just guessing, but that's,
Does it do us any harm if we don't know these questions and are signing it? I mean, mutual aid's mutual
So-
aid, and we're helping each other, but.
yeah, you could, vote to pass it on that note, and you guys always are within your right to table it until you have more information.
I don't know that I saw anything negative in that at all. Like, I don't know that it would hurt us to sign it, but. You probably don't even have it in front of you, do you?
Not in front of me, no, but I'm just wondering where my,
Should be voting on
well, no, not what I would be voting on, whether I should or recuse, honestly.
it. We can easily table this until we get a little more information exactly what we're voting on. It's not gonna change what our police department's able to do at this time, one way or the
And,
other.
and like I said, this has been in place for a long time. I think it was just they wanted an updated, version of it. So by all means, it's not like if we don't sign it tonight, that it's going to affect anything. We can always, send it to legal and get clarification and or take it to committee. So,
yeah, I don't know, I haven't heard anything different, so I'm gonna say, I think we're all in agreement that we wanna be a part of the mutual aid. It would be nice to know exactly who you are agreeing to aid and vice versa, and, even though this is basically just an extension of an existing, agreement, I'd feel more comfortable if we had all that information, so we know what we're agreeing to. So I'd move to table action on this item until our next monthly meeting, when we can get more information.
I second that motion.
Okay, got a motion and a second to table item number 7, which would be the mutual aid assistance agreement. All those in favor signify with an
Aye.
aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And I have to apologize because I meant to start the meeting out by removing item number 8 from the agenda. It's basically just to discuss possibly, the way I understand it, forming a new fire and ambulance district that would cover Weiser and hopefully get a little better tax base for our ambulances.
no,
That
this is a physical ambulance that's in question. So just table it. I mean, it's going to committee.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is just, basically an actual ambulance that we just need clarification in the council's, direction on who should have ownership of the ambulance.
I totally blew that. The ownership
All right.
of the ambulance that we could
That's all
currently
right,
own.
that's all right.
We own it, it's been converted to a
Right,
recovery
okay, I
station.
totally got offline on that one. So,
You're fine.
until we have more information on item 8, would somebody like to make a motion to table that one?
I will motion to table item 8.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item number 9 was to consider a quote for camera equipment for the Wastewater Department.
Lonnie Chambers, wastewater supervisor for the city of Weiser, mayor, council. How's everybody doing? So, last year's budget, the city of Weiser purchased a camera truck. What did we use that camera truck for? We use it to inspect the sewer lines and the storm lines in the town, which lets us know which ones we need to put on a priority to replace if they have problems or if they don't. When the city purchased that equipment, we bought the bare minimum camera. So after using that camera, we're finding there's a couple tools we'd like to add to that. One of the tools is a lateral razor. It's basically just an attachment that goes on the camera, so when the water's too deep and you can't see out of the water, you can raise the head on this thing and get above the water level. The other thing is bigger tires. The camera that the city purchased was for 6-inch and 8-inch pipe. When we get in our mains, which are 18 inches round or 24-inch, those bigger tires helps the camera crawl better. It's kind of like putting Bigfoot tires on a camera, and it just helps you drive over things a little easier. This was not something that the wastewater plant budgeted for this year. It was something that we found that we needed after we've used the camera multiple times. In our equipment line item for the wastewater plant, we do have a little bit of money left over from there. The city did purchase a tractor this year to rotovate biosolids with. We had $60,000 budgeted for that. We spent $46,000, so we had a little bit of cushion there left over. That is the line that I would like to take this camera equipment out of, if council and the mayor says yes.
So that's the budget.
Was that last year's budget?
That's the budget currently we're in right now.
For the tractor was?
The tractor was bought in, I believe it was October, Mike?
Okay, that's
Yes, that is the budget we're in right now.
You didn't have a plan for that extra money at all, other than this?
Not yet. Well, this wasn't even the plan for the extra money.
Okay.
Typically, if we don't spend money at the end of the year, it goes back into savings or wherever. These parts for the camera, we're finding anytime a customer in the city calls and says, I have a sewer problem, our best line of defense is to take the camera out, because we can send it up this pipe, we can see exactly what the problem is. And going back to when we purchased the camera, we bought the bare minimum. We didn't want to spend a bunch of money on things that we would never use. We wanted to buy the bare minimum and then use it and go, okay, this would be a great attachment to help us. And so that's why I'm here today.
And we do budget extra in the equipment line for small equipment throughout the year that comes up.
Okay, Lonnie, just for curiosity's sake, so does getting the bigger tires to go in the bigger pipe make it too big for the smaller pipe, or is it something you have to switch off the tires?
It is something you switch off. So we have currently, with the camera package the city purchased, we have tires for 6-inch pipe, which are about this big, and tires for an 8-inch pipe that are just a little bigger. The tires that we're wanting in this package are, a pretty good size. With the small tires, when you try to go up a pipe that has, we always clean the pipes really well before you send the camera up. Because if there's gravel, if there's silt, if there's things in the bottom of the pipe, if you can picture a rock this size trying to climb over it with a tire this size, it don't work, And then some of the pipes are big laterals where they're so big, you'll never get them 100% clean. The Commercial Street and State Street job that we just finished in December that we sealed up, we had to have the contractor bring their big camera in to view that. So the city paid them when we've already got the tool. We just didn't have the right tires to do the job or the lift, so we can get our camera head above the water and see what we're looking at. So this would be something in the future that, okay, we got deeper water, we don't have to contract it out, we have the equipment.
Makes sense. You can't just go get the little RC.
I wish it was that easy.
We all would just get the good
Yeah.
$1,800 in tires. Got it.
And these cameras, the cameras that we've got literally $45,000 worth of cameras sitting there. These things are not cheap. There's maintenance plans on them. oh, the operators treat them like they're their babies. I mean, we don't wanna break this stuff. We've gotta treat it right so we can get longevity out of it. And the city does get that time and money back over time.
Definitely.
And you did save us quite a bit of money last year when you purchased the truck.
It was a good purchase.
Yeah, so.
So overall, this, if you counted it all as one capital purchase, you'd still be in budget for the total cost, is that correct, or would you be pretty close?
You know, last year when we bought the truck, I totally undershot it. You know, we were looking at a used truck and we budgeted like $70,000, and it worked out that we had the money sitting there. We were able to put a truck together with a brand new camera, got the whole truck. I mean, the truck is beautiful. I should definitely bring it by and let the council see what they agreed upon and purchased. But we're $108,000 into this truck. If you were to buy what the city has currently right now, you're gonna be about $250 for the used truck with the new camera in it. So, which was huge savings to the ratepayers, the taxpayers of the city.
I don't want to cut you off, but I think we should make a motion to do this, make a motion to spend.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor to approve the quote for the camera equipment for the wastewater department.
Second.
And a
In the
second.
amount of,
$5,493.33.
Okay. And we have a second on that?
I second that motion.
Okay.
Thank you,
Any
Mayor,
further
Council.
discussion? If not, actually, we need a roll call
Yeah.
on this because there's money involved.
Councilmember Han,
Yes.
Von Redhorst,
Yes.
Fensky,
Yes.
Hope,
Yes.
Corzine,
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Okay. Motion carries.
approve and authorize the mayor to sign the local professional services agreement, number 10.
Oh, let's do number 2.
It was added, I apologize, it's on the current agenda.
Oh, okay. That's why.
Mike added
My
it.
fault, I came in Friday, like last minute to get on here.
Okay, so number 10 is actually authorize the mayor to sign the local professional services agreement, and this would be an action item.
This is for Kimley Horn to oversee the traffic master plan that we were agreed to and awarding a grant for. This part of it needs to be signed as part of the ITD side of it, where they're funding some of the money. We have to sign this to receive the grant money to cover the cyclomedia doing the LiDAR for the whole city of Weiser. Our match on it is $11,000 on the $149,000 we paid, like 11,010 or 20 of it. And we had brought the whole traffic master plan to council previously. This is just a part of it. We'll have to do one for Keller later.
Has our city council representative reviewed this in advance, our city attorney? Or has he?
For this, no, this is a standard agreement that if we don't agree to it as is, we don't get our grant funding.
Understood.
Kind of one of them, they are taking care of all that within LTAC, and Kimley Horn oversee the contract for this. And ITD tells us how much they have that we get, and then they build the contract around that for us to agree with ITD. Usually, yes, if it was an outside contract of some sort, we would send legal first. This style like this is part of the grant agreement that we've already signed. This is just a separated piece of it for one of the contractors. Like I said, we'll have to come back with Keller's side of it when they're finished with their scope too. It'll all be part of the grant, and we pay 7.34% of the total amount of the project itself.
I would make a motion that we approve this as presented.
Second.
Okay, motion and second to authorize the mayor to sign the local professional services agreement. Can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Hope,
Yes.
Fensky,
Yes.
Horizon, Corzine.
Yes.
Corzine. Sorry, Lisa.
It's okay.
Schroeder,
Yes.
Han,
Yes.
and Von Brethworth.
Yes.
Dang.
Yes.
Okay,
So then,
so,
go ahead.
motion carries.
And then, Herb, I do apologize. You had me print, this and not the current updated, agenda. So there are two
Okay,
pawnbroker's license to approve. They are
Right.
on the current one that you have.
right.
Yeah,
And
they're just not on this,
so I'd like,
this cheater one.
I would like to ask Chief Krahn to come forward. Item number 11 is to consider Idaho coin and exchange pawn license. And we just would like to have the chief go over any problems that he's had with Idaho pawn and change, if there's been any problems with Idaho coin and exchange.
There's been no problems. We have no objections.
Okay. And while you're there, how about the Hammer Down Arsenal? They've also applied for a pawn license.
They have, and we would not have any objections.
Okay.
This evening as well.
Okay, thank you. So we'll go back to item 11, to consider the Idaho coin and exchange pawn license.
Yeah, I need two separate motions.
Right.
I move that we approve Idaho coin and exchange pawn license as presented.
Okay, we have a motion
Second it.
and a second. All those in favor signify with an aye.
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 Any opposed, same side. Motion carries. Now on to number 12, which is consider Hammer Down Arsenal pawn license. And the chief has indicated they have no problem there either.
I move that we approve of the Hammer Down Arsenal, whatever it is.
Okay.
Second.
Motion is second to approve the Hammer Down Arsenal pawn license. All those in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Now, would anybody like to make a motion to adjourn, or we want to?
So moved.
Seconded.
Okay, motion and second to adjourn, motion carries.